Good morning. This is Dr. Nehru. Today, I will give my video lecture on education technology. In this lecture, I want to discuss introduction to education technology. And these four important areas I want to discuss in this video: meaning, nature, scope, and education technology, importance of education technology, components of education technology, hardware and software, systems approach in education technology, its characteristics. So the definition given by AECT in 1996 related to education technology, it's a complex integrated process involve people, process, ideas, devices, and organization for analyzing problems and devising, implementing, evaluating, and meaning solutions. Those problems involved all aspects of human learning. All aspects of human learning. And the solutions problems takes the frame of all the learning procedure which are identified as a message, people, materials, devices, techniques, and settings. This definition given by AECT in 1996. And education technology or technology and education. What is the correct? Is it two or same? Not the same. Technology in education is application of technology to any of these processes involved in operating the institutions which house the educational enterprise. And it includes applications of technology to the food, health, finance, scheduling, grade reporting, and other processes which support education within institutions. And some of the definitions in more concise form: education technology is the theory and practice of design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation of process and resource for learning. And its discipline devoted to techniques are a way to make learning more efficient based theory, but theory is its broadcast sense, not just scientific theory. And another definition in a concise manner: theory consists of concepts, constructs, principles, and propositions that serve as the body of knowledge. Practice the application of these knowledge to solve problems. Practice can be contributed to the knowledge based through information gained from the experiences. And another definition is there, just you can go through it. Okay. And framework for the training and certification of ET, where we are using, why it's using. Education technology has guidelines for training and certification. This is competency based framework for training people who perform tasks in education technology. Groups of specialists, instructional program development, and second one is media product development, and third one is media management. Levels of performance with this specialty: aid, technician, and specialists. And what is really education technology? Education technology operates within the total field of education in its relationship to their professionals also involved in the field, to advocates, co-equal and collaborative relationships among the professionals. These are the dimensions of the field, different dimensions: development, utilization, management, evolution, and design. Or design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation. These are the five theories or five steps for domain of this education technology field. Domain and field is design, to refers to the process of specifying conditions for learning. Development refers to the process of translating the design specifications into the physical form. And third one is utilization, refers to the use of process and resource for learning. And management refers to the process for controlling instructional technology. And the last one is evaluation, is the process for determining the adequacy of instruction. And roots of the field Our field means education technology. It's a 20th century movement, which is major developments occurring during the after Second World War. It begins with emphasis on audiovisual communication media. Gradually, it's become focused on systematic development of the teaching learning process, which were based in behavioral psychology. Contributing fields to the education technology. Major contribution fields are contributing psychology, social psychology, psychometrics, perception psychology, and management. What do you education technologies do? This is very important. Most carefully out one or few of the functions performed in the field. Example, some design instructions, some procedural instruction materials, and other manage instructional computing services are learning resource collections. What they are employed, what they are really doing. Most educational technologies are employed schools and colleges as a directions for resource centers and development of curriculum materials. Increasing number are being employed by the training agencies in business, industry, government, in military, and health professionals. Colleges and universities emphasize them to be in instructional improvement programs that use various technologies. So now we are really entering into the education technology in education. Okay, these are all some pictures. Then what is the real meaning of education technology? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the use of technology in education are the design of the such technology. Definition. This definition is given by Tucker in 1979. Okay, this is US President to Equity Commission. It's give the definition. And Scottish Council for Education Technology, they are giving in 1979 also. They are giving education technology systematic approach to design and evaluating learning and teaching methods and methodologies, and to be application and exploiting the media and curriculum knowledge of communication technologies in education, both formal and non-formal. This is cited in 1979 in page number 160. And in India, the NCERT definition is education as the means of development, application, and evaluation of the three different things. One is techniques, system, and third one is aids to improve the process of human learning. And another educationalist and famous educationalist, Robert Glosser, is giving the definition for education technology. Can go through one by one. Different students learn in different ways to different rate. Different kinds of skill, abilities, knowledge, and understanding are required to different ways. The various elements of the instruction themselves have different learning characteristics. The elements in the learning process should not considered apart from each other, as each has some bringing on education. As far as possible, any learning system should be self-corrective, which means it should have some inbuilt arrangements of evaluation and feedback, which can be used to improve it. The nature of the education technology. What is the nature? The education technology, it generates and wide sense, including the entire process of setting objectives. It deals with the systematic application of the resource of scientific knowledge to the process that each individual have to pass through in order acquire and use knowledge. The basic nature characteristics of education technology are as follows. Based on science and technology, application of scientific principles, continuous and dynamic method, emphasizes on teaching learning methods and techniques, comprehensive approach, system and systematic approach, redefine the role of teacher and student, professionalization of teacher student learning through involvement with challenging tasks. Okay, scope. What is the scope of the education technology? Education technology refers to the jurisdiction, the limits are the boundaries within it works. It needs demarcation of the boundaries within which the process of education can go on. Being a fast growing modern discipline, it is almost practical all through, and it's expanding with tremendous speed, aim at the all-round development in the area of education. This is the scope of educational technology in education. The aspects of education technology is classified into two types: technology in education and technology of education. That is, we are called as a hardware and software approach. The technology in education is application of technology, any process of education. Uses technological advancement in terms of various equipment, materials, mechanisms, and educational process. It involves the increasing complex range of audiovisual equipment, sophisticated electronic devices like projectors, films, audio, TV, tape recorder, computers, etc. for individualized and group learning. And technology of education. The technology of education is application of psychology of learning theories, principles of instructional pedagogy, curriculum, and learning to the process of education. It enables the teachers to use variety of media and modes to make teaching effective. In this, educationalists are involved in the design, evaluation of the system, evaluation of system of learning. And what the Indian education system or in NPE 1986 says. National Policy on Education 96 recommends that education technology will be employed in the spread of useful information, training, and entertaining of teachers to improve quality, sharpen awareness of the art and culture, inculcate abiding values, etc., both in the formal and non-formal sections. Maximum use will be made of the availability of infrastructure. This is recommended by National Policy on Education 96. NPE also recommends some other in their draft uh, new education policy in section 7, 9, and especially 9.5 or 5.5. The ICT needs to harness with adapted Indian conditions to meet the uh, deserve objectives. The deserve objectives are six is their main. IT is aid to the teacher in classroom. It's aids in remedial education. It's used for training for teachers. It's for adult illiteracy. Its modules are learning tools in higher education. IT as a governance tool. These are the recommendations given in NPE 2016 and even 2019 also. Education technology development. We already discussed this after Second World War, generally called as a audiovisual communication media, developmental technology and learning. Today, education technology incorporates different psychological branches and its ICT also with management systems. The scope of education technology can be accessed from following: meaning the process of teaching and learning, spelling out of the education goals and objectives, development of curriculum, development of multisensory teaching and learning material, teaching preparation or teaching training, development and selection of teaching learning strategies and methods, development interactive instructional services, effective utilization of hardware and mass media, effective utilization of subsystem of education to provide essential feedback and control through evaluation, and scope of education technology. You already discussed design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation. The importance of education technology. It's expansion of what is the importance, why we are using education technology in our education system. Explains the time and place, depth of understanding, learning various teaching, and new media for self-expression, collaboration, going global, individual pacing and sequence of learning, personal productivity, savings of many things, even time, money, and many things, and latest updates. Uses of education technology in education. improve the teaching learning process. It's in a picture. I try to explain. Promote mastery of technological use, improve the students' learning, tool for students' curriculum management, improve performance in technological use to help students to be globally equipped. The main objectives, according to her, transmitting the information, serving as a role model, assisting the practice of specific skills, contributing to the provision of feedback. These are the use of ICT in different ways in this picture, and different uses also is there. You can go through it. And objectives, two types: micro level objectives and macro level objectives of the education technology. So micro level objectives is a broad education goals. So micro level objectives specifically classroom teaching, and educational goals. So micro level objectives to identify the educational needs and aspirants in the aspirations of the communication, determine the aims and objectives of the education, to develop integrated curriculum, to identify the locate material and material resources, to develop specific modes of teaching, and to develop appropriate equipment or aids, to identify environmental constructions for the improve the teaching and learning, to develop new learning spaces for effective learning, to assigning providing vocational opportunities to the need and deserving, to manage the entire education system, to modify the teaching learning process on the basis of feedback request. And the education technology is a also we are classifying into three-tier approach to education technology. This is given by A.A. Lansdowne in 1964 into three types. Education technology, it's education technology 1, 2, and 3: hardware approach, software approach, and systems approach. Education technology in software approach. The software the education technology is origin in physical sciences engineering based on the concept of services. So using technology in education while teaching in a big hall, teachers use microphones or making the voice audible. He may be said to be approach such types of educational technology for making this teaching effective. Okay, this is used in different modes of uh, these technologies. In this sense, audiovisual aids such as charts, models, slides, film strips, audio cassettes, and sophisticated equipment, gadgets such as radio, television, films, projectors, tape recorder, record player, audio recorders, teaching machines, and computers. I mean, to the technological advancement in the world of communication for educational purpose. Such type of mechanical and technical revolution has almost mechanized in the teaching and learning process. The second approach is education technology or software approach. The software approach is nothing but the second type of education technology software approach uh, owes origin to the behavioral sciences, their application aspects connecting the psychology of learning. Psychology of learning provides solid technology for bringing the desired behavior changes in the students and various services the cause of education by laying down definite instructional procedure, teaching behavior and behavior modifications devices. It is in this sense that second type of education technology is sometimes referred as a instructional technology, teaching technology, or behavioral technology. So education technology in systems approach. This is systems approach is related to systems engineering, which is its from origin from computer science. Okay, it presents the latest concepts of technology of education in this type and approach. Educational technology stands for systematic way of design, carry out and evaluate the total process of education in terms of specific objectives. Thus, it means systems approach organize the education system effectively and economically, keeping in view the educational objectives and available man material resources. This type of education technology systems approach is a new concept in the field of education technology. At present, it is at the introductory stage, but due to its usefulness and scientific as well as an mathematical nature, it's likely to be developed as an effective means for organization, management, and development of education. Thus, in turns, can develop education as the sound system for serving the cause of individual and the society. The systems approach in education is attempted to coordinate all aspects of problems towards specific objectives in the context of education system as a unit, as a whole, incorporating all its aspects and parts, namely pupils, teachers, curriculum, content, and evaluation of the instructional objectives. Systems approach. What is systems approach? System. A system is a collection of interrelated parts that together constitute a large whole, a number of units working together for a particular goal. These component parts or elements of the systems are intimately linking with one another, either directly or indirectly, and any change in one or more elements may affect the overall performance of the system, either beneficially or adversely. The term first introduced by the Davis and Hartley. Definition. Systems approach is an integrated programmed complex of instructional media, hardware, personnel, whose components are structured as a single unit with scheduled off time and sequence phasing. Systems approach involves three stages: systems analysis, systems design implementation, and system evaluation. So these are the some aspects related to systems approach. Systems approach systematically analysis, designing, implementation, and evaluation of the process in terms its designed objectives, so desired objectives. In the case of education, education also can be analyzed in terms of three components, namely input, process, and output. System analysis will help the teacher to establish meaningful relationship between output, input, and process. The system design should act as the guidelines for the teacher in what to teach, when and what manner. Immediate feedback, diagnosis, and remediation at every stage should be the main role to be played by the system evaluation. Evaluation has to be done continuously and should involve formative as well as summative. This is the diagram of systems approach, the input, process, and output, and is connecting with feedback and within a environment. Environment is nothing but teaching and learning. Okay. So what we expect from, or what are the outcomes from these systems approach? Formulating the specific instructional objectives to be achieved and defining instructional goals, deciding appropriate media to be achieve these goals, defining learner characteristics and the requirements, selecting appropriate methods suitable for effective learning to takes place, selecting appropriate learning experiences from available alternatives, selecting appropriate materials and tools required, assigning appropriate personal roles for teachers, students, and supporting staff, implementing the program, evaluating the outcomes in terms of original objective, measures students' performance and resolving to improve efficiency of the systems to improve students' learning. The major steps in the systems approach in education are: advantage of systems approach. These are the 5 advantages. It provides framework to build plans for implementing changes in education. It helps to identify the suitability of the resource material to achieve the specific goals. Technological advance could be used to provide integration of mechanics, media, and people for attending the defined goals. Continuous evaluation and feedback ensures quality. Problems in education can be systematically identified and solved for this systems approach. These are the advantages. And some other also is there. Limitations of the systems approach: resistance to change. Old ways are difficult to erase. These are always resistance to any new method or approach. Involves hard work. And the third one is lack of understanding is also the limitation of the, we are not understand the this systems approach. So teachers and administrators are still not familiar with the systems approach. Through it has been successfully implemented industry, it has still to uh, make advance in education. This is about education technology. This is introduction to education technology. We are discuss the main important aspects of introduction to education technology. Once again, I want to brief and uh, summarize today the meaning, nature, scope of education technology. Today we are discuss about meaning, nature, scope of education technology, importance of education technology, components of education technology, hardware and software approach, and systems approach in education technology, its characteristics and uses. So this is about introduction to education technology. Thank you very much. If you have any queries or feedback, uh, can give your valuable feedback. I'm ready to take and improve my video lessons. Thank you very much.